Hello guys, my name is Deborah Lily. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first video on this channel, on the English channel, because basically I'm a French speaker. You can even hear it by my accent. I hope you guys are doing well. Today I'm coming with a story time. All my stories are hot and spicy. Please take your wine, take your chips, take your popcorn, sit and let's go. Something about me, I have a lot of stories to explain, and I have those spicy hot stories. That's even why I told you, take your shot because you're gonna need it. This story is a very embarrassing story. Like, honestly speaking, I'm even explaining it, I'm like, should I or not? But I'm like, we don't care because it has been years, maybe let's say 10 years ago, kind of, if I'm not wrong, but it's when I was a teenager. Now you can see I'm an adult, I'm a full adult. I was like 13 or 14, if I'm not wrong. I was in high school, I was living my best life, you know. Those are my kids, don't mind them, they're sleeping. Anyways, let's say we'll call this girl before I started, let me guys give you a context. I've studied in a school which is, like, I can say among, it's even still now among the biggest school, like even in my country, in my state and all those things, and it's a French school obviously. And then I've studied like my garden school, primary school, even the high school in that same school, and that school is only girls school, kind of. It's only garden where there is like mix, but primary, high school, it's only girls school. And then you have to know that it's a Catholic school, and there is a lot of events, you know. Those are Salesian movement. I don't even know if it's in English, but it's like that we call it. I never even search it in English. Anyway, so it's something you need to know. Like, there was a lot of parties, things like that. And then I used to have this friend. Actually, she wasn't my friend, she was just somebody around the school, like around my class. And then it happened that me and that girl particularly, we use like our homes, like I can say, on the same way, and we used to take the same bus, kind of. And then it happened that our friendship, let's say, was centered in we go back home together, kind of like we go the same road, and then we talk, we chit chat and all those kind of things. And the girl, let's say we call her Picky. It doesn't matter because she is not even staying long in the story. And then with Picky, as we used to go back home together, something you need to know, in my family we are a lot depend like Congolese family, you know, you guys. And then normally they used to pick us, but as me, I was having like different timing with other people, so I used to go home alone, kind of. So with that Picky, one of these days she was like,
oh, you know, I have a boyfriend and I am willing to go and meet him like the other side. If you can, we can change the road a little bit, like it will like add like 5 minutes on our road, and then I can just see him and then we can go together to the bus stop.
I was like, okay, no problem, you know, it doesn't matter. Girls want to be outside. Something also I forgot to mention is I am from a family where parents were strict. I even think till now they are still strict. Like, we were in prison break, kind of. We don't go out, and especially for girls it was more strict. Actually, men was actually having that kind of freedom, but that is another story. We are not on that today. And then it happened that I was like, yeah, that it would make me like have more free time outside, because even if, okay, at my house, like my family knew that, okay, from this time and this time is average when I can be back, in all those kind of things. And I was like, okay, it doesn't matter. It's not like as if we are going very far. It's just like 5 minutes adding on my time, so it doesn't matter. And then we went to the side. She was like, okay, she's gonna meet her boyfriend. And then when we arrived there, the guy came with his cousin. Let's, like, the guy, will just call him the guy. The cousin will call him Kuduru. Yes, because it was the time where, you know, this dance Kuduru, that song, that beat was out and everybody was dancing. And mind you, you need to know something, Kuduru was a dancer. Yes, that one is a very, what I say, very important information you need to know about Kuduru. And then it was like me and Kuduru were like they introduced us, and then we're like walking like here, and then Picky and allegedly boyfriend was like in front of us, and then we were making like the road like this. Okay, and then we were talking, like enjoying our time, spending, you know, like they were, like I can say, literally just taking us to the bus stop. And then with Kuduru, the guy was asking me like my name, all those things, like it was like we were getting to know each other basically. And then we even exchanged numbers, and he was like, oh, I would like to continue to talk to you, and then I give him my number and all those things. Something I forgot to mention is at that moment I never had any boyfriend. And not just that, honestly speaking, I was not even having any interest in love, kind of like, you know, at that moment my own focus mostly was parties, you know, was vibing with people, you know, those kind of things. Yes, that was, I can say, my own interest in that moment. I don't know why, but I just think maybe based on that strict environment I was into, where I couldn't go out, I couldn't do anything. So anytime when I have the occasion to do it, I have to do it. I have to be outside. I need to party. I need to enjoy my life. Like I need. So my interests were more focused on the party side, not really on men. But men, they were there, but it wasn't like my first like something which I was like, yes, I want to have a boyfriend. Even if, you know, it was the time when you are discovering all those things. But for me at that moment, parties was mine. Vibing, call me grooves. And sorry guys, I have to say it, I'm a little bit nervous, you know, speaking in English with somebody like face to face, it's something else than speaking to a camera. Don't know how to explain it, but I know that with time it will get better. Let's get back to our story. And then when I mentioned that, you can understand, and I never had any boyfriend, like not at all. I used to have guys friends, and even something in my family, having a guy friend was, as a girl, was like a sin, kind of, in the brackets, in the ways that you are in a school where there is only girls. Where are those guys' friends coming from? So that is in the bracket. We'll talk about it another day, maybe, because I don't want problems. And then at that point, me and Kuduru were chatting, like every time texting, all those time, like it was, you know. And then it's like that. Kuduru, like, he showed interest in me. He was like, see, you are beautiful, you are this and that, I like your vibe, and I would like to date you, this and that. At first I was like, but at the end of everything, I know the reality of my family, and I was like, bro, you know what, it won't be possible, for the fact that I don't want to put myself in something where I will start but I will not know how to handle it. For the fact that in my family we don't go out. I'm in prison break. Like, I'm a prisoner. I can't be going outside. Relationship ask for time spending together, all those kind of things. Me, I can't do it. I can't go on a date in my house. Like at that moment, 6 p.m. I think 6:30 highest. You need to be inside, and even to arrive to that 6, you need to have a good reason why you are still outside as a girl most of the time. And even if you are outside, there must be this thing, okay, maybe you came home and then there is a homework you need to go and print out, or things like that, like, you know. And sometimes you need to lie, kind of. And then at some point, I just tell him like, bro, it won't be possible, because I don't want to put you in something where you will be like asking for attention to see me, and I can't do it. Then the guy was like, no, me, I like you, this and that. He was like insisting, like every time when we talk, we start like, hey, how are you, this and that. We still end up by that same subject. But I keep on telling the guy, because guys, let me tell you something. For me at that moment, it was cardio in a ways that I like ambience, like the enjoyment parts. And for me, for the enjoyment part, I need to handle it, because as I told you, like my family, I had very strict parents. It's not like you tell them I'm going to a party and then they will be like, okay, go. No. They'll be like, okay, you're going to the party. And those parties were like, I can say, my school parties, and my school were having those rules that you need to attend all the parties. If you don't attend the party, you can have problems. They can tell you like to not, like, it's just a long process explaining. So it was like very important to attend also those parties. And then most of the time those parties used to finish, let's say 5 or 5:30. So me, most of the time, like, how can I even say, at some point I even like start lying to my parents, kind of, so I can get more time to party. So in my mind I was like, if I have to lie, like I have to add that lie of me at least having the privilege to party with other people and all those stuff. If I have again to add more lies because I have to go on a date with a guy, will I survive it? Will I, you know, my life was already stressful. very, very stressful, and I couldn't afford myself to add like that stress on top, kind of. Please, the way I'm speaking about like my strict parent and all those things, I never lack of anything. Like basically I used to live happily. It's just that I just understood with the time it was just that fear of, okay, what if something happened to you, what if you get pregnant, what if I don't know if you understand. You know, our parents can be protective sometimes, and mostly African parents with a lot of beliefs that people have. So it's kind of, you know, you need to be very all those things. Like I think I was 13 when I met Kodoro, and then I think when I was 14 to 15 is when actually I finally accepted him as my boyfriend. And then when I accepted him as my boyfriend, because all those time, like all those years, let's say, all those months, let's say, we've been talking, and then that subject of dating was front and back, and the guy was like, oh, don't worry, even if you don't come outside often, I will still make the effort, maybe after school, like to walk you to the bus stop. It's like that, we'll be spending time, I don't mind this and that, me, I just want to be in a relationship with you, I like you, I have feelings for you, you know, those kind of things. And as I said, Kodoro was a dancer, guys. He was a dancer. Not just a dancer, he was like a kind of a little superstar in between. As I told you, like my school and other Catholic school, they used to organize parties together. And then Kodoro, he was a little star, a dancer. He used to go and perform on all those school and in my school. And not just that, mind you, every time when you perform, you know, girls will be like, ah, you know, those kind of things. Because it used to be like in a group, there used to be like, I don't know, I can't remember, like 4 or 5. They used to dance, and they used to dance very, very well. And then girls, you know, with all those movement and everything, girls were all over him, and I hated that like a lot, and I was so jealous. Anyways, let's get back where we stopped. Now you have the full information about Kodoro. So let's get back to the moment that me and Kodoro started dating. Finally, I was like, okay, why not? Because I was very conscious that it, like in my family, like at my parents' house, all those dating stuff and everything, it doesn't exist. Yeah, it doesn't exist at all. And then at some point I was just like, oh, why not? Ooh, even if they catch me, they will just beat me, and what? I will not die now. So me and the guy, we started dating, and everything was going well at first. We were talking, like we were staying on the phone, and most of the time we were talking by message. We were like texting every time, every day, you know, those kind of things. At some point, the guy started to complain about how he can see me. He was complaining like on a constant. He was like, okay, oh, I can't even see you, I would like to see you, this and that, you never have time for me, this and that. And you know, when we were talking with the guy, I was even also having feelings, because it has been for like, I can say almost 2 to 3 years, like we know each other, and then we are talking, things like that. And then I was like having feelings for him, actually. And I was falling for him. I was like, and it was the first time for me discovering love, somebody telling me I love you, somebody, you know, telling me those so sweet words, somebody, you know. So at some point I was falling for the guy. I was really in love, madly in love. And then the guy was complaining on a constant, like, okay, you can't even come outside, this and that, oh, find a way to come outside. Me and my friend, we used to go out like on a group, and all of them, they used to come with their girlfriend. It's just me who used to stay there single. It's like I'm just going with them just to go with them, but I'm all alone, not by myself. It's not nice, this and that. I was like, yo, bro, I can't. I've told you. I was like, right from the beginning, when we knew each other, I told you, like, me, I can't go. I'm a prisoner, bro. All those things of going on a date, seeing you coming to my house, me going whatever with you, bro, is not possible. And mind you, there was even also this fear of, imagine you're on the road, you're walking on the road, and then one of my family member or my auntie or my uncle just saw us on the road, or maybe I asked one of my siblings, or even worst, one of my parents like see us on the road. I would like, bro, do you think about my life?